come on. If you're new, do me a damn favor. Like, subscribe, and do us a damn favor. Turn on that notification bell. And yes, we're doing the election. I'm not trying to get copyrighted, but I will turn on the sound when I see something interesting.
Can a Democratic incumbent hold on in a much more Republican district in a tougher year, running against J.R. Majewski, who is a Trump acolyte, a January 6th supporter, and somebody in this district here? Again, we're only at 1% here. We're only at 1%, and as you see,
Ohio district, Ohio 9th district.
Then I'm going to walk over here
They're
and show
talking
you the
about
governor's race. We are talking about 100% of early vote, and early vote tends to be disproportionately Democratic. Again, you always rather be ahead than behind, but you see another House race down here. This is Cincinnati in the suburbs to the north. The Republican incumbent is Steve Chabot. He's losing at the moment. This is another competitive seat. Democrats would love to pick up this seat to offset losses elsewhere, but I want to emphasize this is 100% early vote. Tends to be disproportionately Democratic. So we look at it now, we'll keep it on our radar screen, but you have to be cautious. Don't draw any conclusions looking at that map. Just quickly, moving over here to the United States Senate, I just want to make the point because it's the very same dynamic. Dana was just talking about this race. The
only one
Democratic
fucking
Tim
problem.
Ryan is out to an early lead here in
Joe
the state of
Biden
Ohio.
sucks.
But this is, again, 100%, at least as of 2 minutes ago, 100% early vote. You'd rather be ahead than behind, but we're waiting. You see the middle part here that's gray, not filled in. That is Trump country in Ohio. Jake, we'll watch the race as we go, and we'll get more votes as we move through the hour.
All right, John King, we are just moments away from the biggest round of poll closings this evening, including that critical Senate contest in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that could go a long way toward deciding control of the U.S. Senate. As of right now, CNN is projecting that Senator Marco Rubio, the Republican from Florida,
Marco Rubio will be the Republican winner in Florida, according to CNN.
Britt will win her Senate seat, defeating her opponent. She is a former staffer for the retiring Republican Dick Shelby in that Alabama Senate seat, so that's a hold for Republicans. In Oklahoma, CNN is projecting that incumbent Senator James Lankford will win. In the special election in Oklahoma, CNN is projecting that Mark Wayne
Special election?
will be elected, defeating Kendra
What the hell is a
in
special
Kentucky,
fucking election?
CNN is projecting that incumbent Republican Senator Rand Paul will be re-elected. The big Senate race in Pennsylvania, CNN is declared to be too early to call, and the big Senate race that's between Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman and TV's Dr. Mehmet Oz, too early to call as of right now. And in New Hampshire, a competitive race between incumbent Democratic Senator Maggie Hassan against retired General Don Bolduc. Again, too early to call. Let's look at the map in general right now. Right now, we have no projection in Connecticut, Illinois, Maryland, Missouri, and then, as I said, New Hampshire and Pennsylvania. Too early to call right now. The overall balance of power in the U.S. Senate, Democrats have 36 of the Senate seats. Republicans have 35 Senate seats. There are 29 seats remaining. That's what the rest of the night is about. Remember, Republicans only need to pick up one net seat.
Yeah, Republicans need to pick up one seat.
Of the Senate. But we have governor's races for you as well, and Boris Sanchez has those.
Jake, we have two projections to bring you from the South, including a major...
This is good news, folks.
Republicans in the state of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis winning re-election by a considerable margin.
Ron
now, DeSantis is
D wins re-election.
percentage points. That's notable because Donald Trump won the state of Florida in 2020 by about 3.5 points. DeSantis, of course, widely speculated that he may run for president. Trump certainly thinks so with some of his recent attacks on the Florida governor, who earns a return trip to the governor's mansion in the Sunshine State. We also have a projection to bring you from Ruby Red, Alabama. Donald Trump won, earning about
He was the only fucking problem, folks. Here's how I see. Can the Republicans hold it? If the Republicans can hold it, they will have the majority in Congress. Let me put the TV on mute again. If the Republicans win tonight, when I start my other stream on the computer, I will bring a map up. Alright? of each of the USA. Alright. And by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe today. Come on, stream knowledge. But yeah. Let's listen to what they have to say, and then we'll move on to baseball.
Let's take a look at North Carolina, where the Democrat Sherrod Beasley has an early lead over Republican Ted Budd. Remember, this is retiring Republican Senator Richard Burr's seat, so a Democratic win here would represent a pickup for them, although we do expect this race to tighten through the evening. We have about 46% of the vote in North Carolina right now. Now let's go check in on Ohio, where the Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan is out to an early lead of 58.1%.
Tim Ryan out to a 51.8% lead.
With a spread that wide, we really do have to ask where those votes are coming from. We only got about 20% of the vote in Ohio right now. And let's also check in on New Hampshire, where Maggie Hassan is at 64.1% to the Republican
Maggie
Don Bollock's
Hassan at
35.4%. She's about
4%
13,000 votes
to
ahead. So that tells you where we are in the vote count. We're not
Donald
very far in.
B.
We are at 8%,
at
but you'd rather be Maggie
35.4%.
Hassan and Don Bollock.
All right, Casey, thanks so much. Appreciate it. John King getting us up to speed on the Senate right now. Where are we? Because we have races, we have votes coming in at least 3 competitive races. New Hampshire,
Let me
and
go
Georgia,
to
and perhaps North
the
Carolina.
Houston
So
game.
Georgia and New Hampshire would be holds, Democratic incumbents right now. I'll get into the Georgia vote complications in a minute. Pennsylvania, the Democrat, we have in the very, very early results leading, but we got a long way to go here. This would
And
be
it's all from Pittsburgh.
right. It's all from Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, heavy Democratic area, early vote. So you would just step away from that. But again, so if you're watching at home and you're seeing the Senate map, you know, Democrats very much want to pick up that seat currently held by a Republican. Democrats want to pick up Ohio, currently held by a Republican, and North Carolina.
He's trying to get inside in most of these states. That's where he likes to throw his two-seamer. He's got great action in there, and that is why we're seeing some broken bats as well. I love that as a pitcher. He breaks it in, kind of like a great feeling. There's nothing better other than double play, but he almost got both at the same time. 1-1 pitch.
1-1 pitch to Mo.
That is understandable from Maldonado. He's squatting behind the plate, and then they're asking him to beat out an infield hit. Good credit to Bohm. He took his time, didn't really have to feel like there was a panic, bare hand throw and get him out. Just barely got him out. All right, so runner in scoring position.
Runner in scoring position.
One of the most stunning stats of his postseason is that even as Altuve has gotten going lately, he still does not have an RBI. All of that is when he was going bad, expanding the zone and stringing at bad pitches. When you have a runner in scoring position, typically the pitcher feels the stress and might make a mistake and will take advantage of it.
First pitch is upstairs.
Altuve's struck out his first time. He's starting this postseason 1 for 28. He's hitting .346 over his last 5. Altuve would have to hit a breaking ball here. I can't afford to come in the zone with a guy who loves to swing and rarely takes 2 pitches in at bat in a row, let alone 2. So
Damn right.
he tries to spin something on the outside part of the plate with a base open. Right part of the plate. A little cutting action on this one. And 2 great pitches. Down in the count 2-0 now even. Scoreless game here on thin ice with a 2-out chance for Altuve. Fouls it off as Wheeler sticks with the hard stuff against one of the best in the game at hitting fastballs. seen. He feels like he's got it back. So he's throwing out Tuve. He strikes.
Swing and miss for Tuve. Strike three. Sit down, son. You inning is done.
Scoreless innings in Game 6. Bryce Harper due to lead off the fourth.
Hopper due to lead off the fourth.
Peaceful state. Full fleet. Just overcome the fear that he must have felt. He came back better than ever. This pitch at 96 or 97 would look like 100 more. Yeah, there's not too many times in this postseason where he's seen this many non-fastballs at any point. 75% of the pitches that he's seen in this World Series have been fastballs. On a 2-2, Harper. He's raising missiles.
Hopper swing and miss. Sit down, son.
Number 6 for Framber Valdez, including his fourth in a row. Yeah, it's just so nasty after seeing breaking ball, and then he eats him.
No shit.
Two-seamer and eats him up. Look at the movement. It's right down the middle, and it ended up being a ball, and Harper tried to get it before it got him, and no luck. That is now 25 Ks for Framber Valdez in 15 innings against the Phillies over the last month. Strike out Castellanos. You figure that the more times you see a guy, more information you've gathered, the more comfortable you're going to be, but so far, more of the same. And he's locked in. And what could have gotten him off the tracks, really, seriously, that first batter from Kyle Schwarber after a walk. Last year, maybe he wouldn't have reacted the way he reacted this year.
Oh, yeah. Pennsylvania. Ohio.
Sports psychology staff, a lot of encouragement from his manager. This is one of the most important moments of his career. It was one of the first conversations he had with Dusty Baker. He was still trying to break in. Dusty said, hey, you got a chance to be a big-time pitcher for us. I believe in you. Now you gotta believe in you. Well, the disparity between his slowest pitch and fastest pitch is pretty dramatic. Because, as I talked about, each hitter kind of gauges in time. They have their own timing mechanism. And when they think they've got something timed and it's by them, that messes with your mind. And it starts becoming a little defeated when you think, I had that time, but I had no chance. And he's messing with all the hitters' timing in a very important way. 0-2 to Castellanos. Back foot. Misses 1-2. He showed a moment ago, it's the hardest pitch that he's thrown this year. He normally averages 94. It's a lot of separation right there. Again, I don't know if he'll do this, but he could tie up Castellanos upstairs. Good low ball hitter. Will chase the curveball down. That's why it's enticing to do. And there you see it right there. Just about.
If you knew, who's joining me? Come on over from the Pete McDivitt show.
Certainly tie him up with the heater up.
If you're watching my other stream, welcome in. I got that stream also going with the CNN. Who's winning?
Here's his 2-2. Fastball poked down.
2-2 pulled down the line. Both innings.
He's late. Could have got it up higher, then that would have been more of the swing and miss. But now he's at least reset him. What I mean by reset him, he's gotten that area of the pitch up that he went and swung at down the middle. Now a breaking ball off that same height might entice a swing out of the zone here on a 2-2 count. A pitch coming to Nick Castellanos. Scoreless fourth inning.
Scoreless fourth inning.
Another 2-2 from Framber Valdez.
Ball on the dirt.
Too low.
3 to the count.
That's the right idea, but he started it too low and he knows it. He still has an
That's
two counts, and you still don't have to just throw a strike here. He makes a better breaking ball pitch here on 3-2. Would be hard for Castellanos to not want to swing it. Payoff pitch. Spoils it. But see what I'm saying? Like, that's a guy you put down on your scorecard and go, he doesn't want to walk right now. And if he doesn't want to walk, I don't have to throw a lot of strikes. Now, he did get him to 3-2, so he's done something right. But that pitch was by far ball.
I know.
And he fouled it.
Hang on, folks, I'll be right back.
He's getting closer and closer to the hitter that I think, again, next year is going to be a totally different hitter for the Philadelphia Phillies.
He's a beast the last couple of years. Hit 34 homers, above 300 average last year with the Cincinnati Reds. Only 12 home runs in his first year with the Phillies, and none so far in the postseason. Another 3-2.
Good dude. Sit down, son. Your inning is done. Where the hell was that pitch?
Castellanos, taller hitter, and he knows that that ball's down and possibly inside. With a little hesitation and fastball definitely off the plate. He's going to go back and check that iPad and be verified, but an incredible bat and now 5 strikeouts in a row.
That's why I swing all the time. I'm patient, I have a good take, and it means I strike out. 2 up, 2 down, 4th inning. Alec Bohm has got the long hit of this game for the Phillies. And the first pitch is last time. First pitch here. There's a curve for a strike. Before that pitch, just
Night. Let's see where.
Right, because the precinct captains also have it neighborhood by neighborhood,
Right.
precinct by precinct.
They know how to come out of these, because that's when you overdo it. That's when it gets a little glitchy, when you put too much data. Yes, the precinct captains know as you come through it. Let's just look at the.
And what's going to happen, and well, we don't know in any of them.
It's
but
in the middle. It's in the middle is the best way to put it.
Right.
So the Wexton
is generally favored.
18-point Democratic district,
Right.
right? And you see Humcal winning in some of the counties here too, further out, as you move out a little bit. We're still waiting for votes here. But you have an 18-point Democratic district there where the Democrat is leading. Then you come down here and it's a 7-point Democratic district and you have the Republican ahead. Again, Florida, the Republicans are holding their +7 district
And
here
they're
in
playing
Virginia
offense.
at the moment.
Right.
They're on defense. And then you come down to the third one down here, which is the true swing district. One Democrat 1+8, and you have the Republican candidate comfortably ahead at the moment in that district. Still more votes. to
Of
count.
the 3 Democratic congresswomen from Virginia, Luria is in the toughest battle.
Yes,
Then
without a doubt.
Spanberger, then Wexton. So Spanberger, the reason to look at her seat is because if it falls, it's probably going to be a lot of other Democrats that are going to have bad nights. Can we take a look at the Senate?
Yes.
If that's okay with you?
Yes, to your point about that one, if only the Luria district fell in Virginia, you're likely to, and districts like that fall in it, you're likely to get a Republican majority because they only need a net of 5, but a smaller majority.
Right.
If the Luria districts and the Spanberger districts, meaning districts like that as you move across the country keep falling, that's how Republicans build a majority. And that's what we're gonna watch.
I know.
Bigger ones come back here in the Senate.
What do we got going in Pennsylvania right now?
You'll notice people at home that Mr. Tapper, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. That's all right, the races. And again, this is,
Oh yeah.
you know, we have to be very careful because we're looking at overwhelmingly Democratic areas
Right.
reporting votes so far. Allegheny, Pittsburgh, and the suburbs around it. John Fetterman is the lieutenant governor. He's from Braddock, which is out west here. Very well known. Plus, it's a huge Democratic area to begin with. Then you move over here. This is suburbs of Cumberland County, just outside of the capital, Harrisburg.
It's an R+10 district, though.
Yeah, it's R+10, but which is why you know, you're most likely looking at an early vote count
Right,
here
definitely.
as you come through it here, and then you come over here to Philadelphia. You come here where you have 91%, but it's just 11%.
It's only 11%.
Fetterman needs to keep. It's not going to get 92% of the vote in Philadelphia, I suspect, by the time we're done. But you need to keep it way up. About this is interesting. If you notice where you heard Kate Baldwin earlier tonight. You know, when Donald Trump came last to Pennsylvania, they were out here. They were out here in Westmoreland County, Latrobe, right? So let's go back to 2020, and let's look at the presidential race. Come with me here, the presidential race. When Donald Trump comes, they go here. You see why,
Yeah.
right? So Latrobe, Westmoreland County, that's where Oz is standing in front of Trump's plane with Trump, trying to turn it up because he needs to run it up in Trump country, Pennsylvania. Where was he last night? He was over here. Come down from Allentown, you come down here. He was in Pennsburg, which is right here, just south of Lehigh County, about 25 miles from Doylestown, which is the county seat of Bucks County, right? So let's go back to the Senate race when, in 2016, when Pat Toomey, who has this Senate seat, won re-election, right? He lost Montgomery County, but again, the margins. Look at that, right? Look at the margins there. for Pat Toomey.
43.8 he
Very
lost
same
it.
presidential race. Look at the margins for Hillary Clinton. Right, so Pat Toomey was much more competitive in the suburbs than Donald Trump back in 2018, and Pat Toomey won Bucks County. Right, we don't have any votes in Bucks County yet. Watch this one tonight. Mehmet Oz beat this one. This is the more blue collar of the suburban callers. You know this better than I do. Of the collar counties of Montgomery, right around Philadelphia,
That's
Montgomery County,
Indiana,
Bucks County, you come
folks.
down here as well to Delaware County, and you come back here just to look.
I keep telling you, it's Delco.
Delco, right. I said that last time because you told me to on television, and Twitter loved it. But you come back to the results now of where we are. This is very early. No, but this is where we're going to watch.
Yeah.
It's going to be right here. Can Oz,
Absolutely.
Can Oz win or run about even here? And can he get
Nope.
closer here than Donald Trump did against Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden? Because this is why, right here, is why Joe Biden won the Commonwealth. Hillary Clinton just lost it, and Joe Biden won it right here.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, again, as we're looking in Georgia, the ticket splitting. It'll be interesting to see the people that vote for the Attorney
Here's the
General
only
John
quote.
Shapiro, who's a
Will-
Democrat, but then cross the aisle and vote for.
You heard it from the CNN.
This is what county you're
I
in?
just switched it over.
This is just the state, okay.
This is.
We obviously, I do not expect this to be the result, but
Fly to right.
Fly to right.
Deal for Kyle Tucker.
Fire Tucker got it. 1, 2, 3, 4th inning.
You've been working from home.
So you get a little speed off the base. Didn't you say you would do it like you tweeted it just earlier?
I'm gonna go shift my iPad.
Did it, but I blew it. Oh, you threw it in the center. Yeah, a little different as a pitcher. Yeah, pop that bunt, but no one ever does that anymore. Just because I think the fear factor of, somehow. It settled in after they ambushed him in the first inning, and then in the fifth, this guy here, Alex Bregman, cracked a 2-run home run against him. 6 of those in the World Series in his career. Swings and misses, strike one.
Well, the one thing that Zach has done a great job is it's kind of flirting with fire, but when you're so good at throwing the ball in against a hitter who's so good at damage in, he's almost messing with Bregman's mind because no one pitches him like that. So if you're good in or third, you get him aware of the pitch way in and say, I can pitch you in where you're really good. And so far, Wheeler's been able to do that.
See, nobody makes me bleed my own blood. He throws me fastballs in here. Another fastball. It's fouled into the glove, but it's 1-2.
But see, that's what it does. It opens it up.
And what? Yeah.
Bregman fouls it off.
That one.
2 out, and you're going to face Tucker, who you said you were already worrying about if you're a pitcher. Now first time up, you had to show. And you're going to face Tucker, who you said you were already worrying about if you're a pitcher. Now first time up, you had to show him to the pitch.
Up a hit right here if it doesn't score a run. But you just want to stay away from, obviously, the 2-out, 2-run homer. And in a tight game, that seems like 4 runs to score.
On the verge of elimination to boot. It's a bouncing ball.
Bouncing ball.
Chargers.
Gets Tucker, throws it to Hoskins. 1, 2, 3.
Robert Valdez for the Astros, just as it should be.
This is the Missouri House 6th District.
Nachos, better with Pepsi. It's the biggest night in the midterm elections live on Fox News with up-to-the-minute results in the states and we'll be watching on November 8th. Don't miss Democracy 2022 on Fox News.
speaking of that,
I got a serious strategy.
DUI.
Then he's up 37 percentage points. I mean, the Ted Budd people know
He's running very competitively.
we got a lot
Yeah.
of Ted Budd votes yet to count. Can I take a quick peek at Georgia Senate while we're at it, just because I'm
Here
wondering?
is to count in Georgia. This is disproportionately early vote. The key there is watch the two leading candidates, someone at the end of the night above 50. That number has stayed pretty stable right there. Again, you're looking at this. This is the Georgia Senate race, and you come over to the governor's race. The Democratic candidate.
It is too early to call between incumbent Senator John Bozeman and Democrat Natalie James. Too early to call at this moment
Okay.
right now. Let's take a look at the balance of power right now in the U.S. Senate. Democrats hold 36 seats. Republicans hold 36 seats as well. 28 seats remain. Remember, you need 51 seats to control the U.S. Senate. Republicans need to pick up one net seat from the Democrats in order to win control of the U.S. Senate. Let's talk about governor's races now. Boris Sanchez has more there.
Jake, we have three projections to bring you, all three of them Republican holds, beginning in the state of New Hampshire. Chris Sununu, there are rumors he may run for president in 2024. Sununu winning a fourth term, defeating physician Tom Sherman. Meantime, in the state of South Carolina, not a competitive race there. The incumbent Republican Henry McMaster
Henry
defeating
McMaster,
former Democratic
governor of
Joe
South
Biden
Carolina.
to win another 4 years. An update now
He's
from Tennessee.
guaranteed
another
4 years.
reliably red state.
Bill Lee
Trump won 68%
defeats
of the
Jason
vote there in
Martin
2020.
for 4
Bill
years.
Lee winning re-election. The incumbent Republican defeating ICU physician. 1,000 vote advantage right now over incumbent Republican Greg Abbott. About 26% of the vote in Texas. An update now, a key race alert from the state of Michigan. Incumbent Democrat Gretchen Whitmer, I should say, locked in a tough re-election battle against conservative commentator Tudor Dixon. Right now, Whitmer sitting 55,000 votes ahead, still very, very early.
Which
in the
one
election.
sitting at
Only
55,000
3%
votes
there.
ahead?
We also have a key race alert to bring you from the state of Pennsylvania, where Attorney General Josh Shapiro has a 287,000 vote
Shapiro
advantage
has
over Joe
a
Mastriano. Remember, Mastriano's in election
2,807 vote lead as of now. 8 votes in already.
Let's turn it over to my friend Casey Hunt, who has an update for us on Senate races. Casey.
And you know what, Boris, we've got some really interesting comparisons to show you between what we just learned about the governor's races and where we stand here in the Senate. And let's start in Georgia, where Raphael Warnock is leading, 51.9%, and Herschel Walker
That was just for governor.
46.4%. Just to refresh, the governor's race looks the opposite. Kemp at 50.9, Abrams at 48.6. That really shows you the difference here in terms of performance. We got 43% of the vote in Georgia. We expect it to stay close all evening. Now let's check in on North Carolina, where Sherry Beasley is at 52% to Ted Budd's 46.3%. You just heard that great breakdown from John King about where the votes are still out. There is reason for the Budd campaign to potentially be optimistic here. We're going to be sticking close to this all night. 55% of the vote in there. Now let's go to Ohio, where Tim Ryan is out to an early lead, 56.9% to J.D. Vance's 43%. But it is still extremely early in Ohio, and of course, this is a state that has trended very red in recent years. We've got 29% of the vote in Ohio. But now let's go to New Hampshire, where Maggie Hassan is sitting at 60.7% to Don Bolduc's 38.2%. Democrats in New Hampshire telling me they feel very good about where Maggie Hassan is at this hour. But if there are these numbers here to what Boris just told us in the governor's race, John Fetterman at 80 points, how Fetterman is underperforming Shapiro, which has been the concern for Democrats all the way along, that potential ticket splitters, especially in the Philadelphia collar counties, would pick Mehmet Oz for Senate and Shapiro for governor. Jake.
All right, Casey, thanks so much. Really appreciate that. We've been telling you all night there are about 82 House seats that are competitive, races that are competitive, that we're really keeping an eye on, because it is in those 82 races that the balance of power in the House of Representatives will be won or lost. Let's give you an update right now. Right now, of the 23 competitive seats that are too early to call, the voting is ended, but they're too early to call. Democrats are leading in 15 of them. Republicans are leading in 8 of them. It's early yet. That doesn't necessarily mean Democrats are going to win 15 of them, but that is the state of play as of right now. Let's go over to John King at the Magic Wall to talk more about some of these House seats. Tell us what you're seeing, John.
Well, to your point, leading on in these races. And again, if you're watching at home and you're a Democrat, you think, or even a Republican, Democrat in the uncalled races here, it's the ahead. it matters. So we're gonna come over here, we'll look at these competitive races. If you're the Democrats and you're looking at this map, you start in the Northeast. Number one, Democratic incumbent Chris Pappas. We talked earlier, Governor Sununu is winning big in the state, right? So the question is, can all the Democrats, whether it's the Senate race or the House races, hang on in that environment? So let's pull it out, come back nationally and drop down. I started my career in the state of Rhode Island. You see red in Rhode Island, you want to take a look at it, because this district has been Democratic for a very, very long time. This is a surprising
Alan
candidate.
Fung
Very, very
is
close.
leading
Magaziner, state
over
treasurer,
his
George
Democratic
Mayor Alan Fung.
counterpart
Republicans, if they can pick
big
up this
time
seat, if this seat is red at the end of the night,
in Rhode Island in the second district.
that majority would be rather large, because this is a Democratic 13-point. Joe Biden, by the lines of this district today, would have won it by 13 points in 2020, so watch the result. About 62%, that's a very close race. We keep watching it. But if you're looking at the map, that would be a big take here. We come check back in two places. We'll do Virginia first, and we'll check Pennsylvania. And again, Republicans continue to lead. We've been checking on these because the polls closed earlier. In two of the three competitive races in the Commonwealth of Virginia, just checking on the margin one more time again, that one got closer. You have Jennifer Wexton still ahead, but Hunkow has closed that to 49% right there. We're at 90%, and we're watching it. And so think about that. Think about that, even if Wexton holds on to even this seat. This is an 18-point Democratic advantage.
18-point Democratic lead
The lines were
in
as they were
Virginia in
today,
the
and you
10th
have a Republican
district.
candidate at the moment with 10% of the vote out. Could change, 10% in the populated suburbs here just outside of DC. But that is a close race in a district that, if you went back 2 years ago, was not close. That tells you about the environment. You drop down here, and again, Leslie Vega, we're at 89%, a little shy here, in a district. This is a Democrat +7 district, and you have the Republican candidate ahead by 4 or 5 points, 5 points. If you do just a shy shade of it, and then you come down here, again, we talked about this before, the most vulnerable Democrat in the Commonwealth of Virginia is Elaine Luria.
Brian
68%
Loya
of the vote, so
is
you're
losing
hoping,
50
but that's
by
a pretty healthy lead for the Republican candidate.
88,000
So what does that mean?
votes.
Race by race, people at home might start to get confused. What it means is we're starting to fill in the map. Democrats are leading in 18 of these competitive districts, which means they're leading at the moment in more competitive districts, which is good news, but it's not good enough news, in the sense that Democrats have to win 2/3 of the competitive races to have a chance to the House majority.
Also, I would imagine that some of this is early vote.
Yes.
Meaning that the Democrats are leading right now because Democrats disproportionately vote early, vote by mail, etc.
Without a doubt, that's what's happening here. Just to
Yeah.
illustrate your point, I bring up Ohio, and I just want to check if the vote count has gone. It's gone up some, but not much. About a third of the vote now. Marcy Kaptur, again, her district used to be cut off about here and come east. They added Republican areas, the Ohio legislature, Ohio governor, Republican legislature. They added seats here, but she's up comfortably at the moment. But it's a third of the vote, so we want to see. And this would be news down here, in that this is a Republican incumbent, Steve Shabbat, Cincinnati.
Steve
suburb.
Shabbat is losing to Greg
As you get to the
Mansman
33% of the vote
by
is early vote.
yeah, 6,300, 64,000 votes or more.
Right now, 27 of them, the polls have closed, and CNN is saying they're too early to call. 18 of those seats, Democrats are leading in, of the 27. So Democrats are leading in 18 of the 27 competitive seats.
9
that are early
seats
call.
are
Republicans are leading in 9
Republican-led
of the
counties
competitive seats that are early call.
in the
Again,
state.
early vote, we don't know what's going to happen. This does not mean the Democrats are going to win 18 of the 20.
Challenge is Republicans need only a net gain of 5. So when you come back to this year, and where you're looking at this, and this is all of the races right now, and you come back to this year, and where you're looking at this, and this is all of the races right now, and you only need a net gain of 5. And in those competitive races, 57 of them are Democratic incumbents, so and only 22 Republican incumbents. Joe Biden, of the 82 competitive districts, when we put them up on the map, and let me just bring those up to highlight them. Of these 82 competitive districts, Joe Biden carried 60 of them 2 years ago, or would have if the lines had been as they are this year in 2020. Joe Biden would have carried 60. So the fact that the Democrats essentially need to win those 60.
This is
They need to win
who's
them.
leading
They need to
in
win
Missouri's
around that number,
3rd
to
district.
keep it. And it's just,
You're watching on the
competitive
computer.
Yes. Competitive enough. Looking at this map, we're not done. The early instinct is probably not.
So put up the House of Representatives as it stands today, because I want to show something to people. If we can zoom in on New England right now, okay?
I can stretch it out.
Stretch it out for us. Can you do that?
There we go.
Okay. New England is entirely blue, right? We're not counting about New York. We're not counting New York, which is here, and we're not counting New York, which is here. It's entirely blue. But as you pointed out, right now in Rhode Island, where you started out as a reporter,
Come forward.
it's red.
And you look, some red. And now that Cape Cod district, there's just a few votes in. That's Bill Keating's district, it's a Democratic district. If that stays red, then we're having a huge Republican night. But that Rhode Island seat, those results are real. You come in here, all the results are